Well, for a year, the Army sent me to the University of Connecticut. They didn't have computers in those days, and they were training us to be technicians on the development of the atomic bomb. But as soon as they knew how to make the bomb, they just sent us back to the regular army. And I was put in the 78th Infantry Division, and I went overseas in October of 1944. I was in England about 6 weeks, in Belgium a couple of months, and then into Germany in the Hurken Forest. That's where I got captured.
Okay. And tell me about the military engagement there. What
Can't,
games?
I can't understand.
Okay, sure. Tell me a little bit about the military engagement you were involved there. If I'm not mistaken, you were in the Battle of the Bulge.
Yes, I was.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, uh, my memory isn't real good anymore, but I was in the Hurken Forest when the Battle of the Bulge took place, and most of the Battle of the Bulge took place uh, about 10 or 12 miles from where I was stationed. So I didn't get a lot of action in the Battle of the Bulge. Thank goodness.
Right. And so, but one of the defining traits of that battle was how cold it was. Can you talk to me about the weather and how cold it was in the Battle of the Bulge?
The weather was cold, very cold, 4 or 5 inches of snow, a lot of mud.
Sure, sure. So, if you can walk me through what happened and how you were captured, any of the details, how you came up.
Kind of I got captured.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the captain in our division or in our company sent three of us out in front of the line, about 100 yards, and we were supposed to be in what they call a listening post, and it was on the edge of a blown up German pillbox. Now the Germans built the pillboxes in groups of three, so they could protect each other. They captured the Americans captured one of the pillboxes and blew it up. Our company commander sent three of us out there in that rubble for what I don't know. A squad of Germans surrounded us, and we held them off for about 3 or 4 hours by throwing grenades. We didn't shoot our rifles because we didn't want them to know where we were. And after our grenades ran out, we shot one of our fellows, and the other fellow and I decided our only means of living was to give up. So we surrendered, and I spent the rest of the time as a prisoner of war.
And what were the conditions like, and what was life like as a prisoner or under the German
In a prisoner of war camp,
Yes, sir.
well, they had to move us quite often because the American Army was advancing. The last time they moved us, it was about 100 miles, and we had to sleep in farmers' barns at night. And they put us on a camp at Bad Orb, Germany. It was on top of a mountain overlooking Bad Orb. And we didn't have much to eat. But I didn't get any bad treatment. Uh, if you remain part of the bulk of the prisoners, you the worst thing was not enough food. If you got picked out for something, the hard the it was pretty harsh treatment if they caught you doing something that was against the rules. But I was young at that time, so I was able to survive. If you got sick in the camp, you died. There was no medical treatment, but I I was able to survive it because I was young and healthy.
And so, what? How eventually were you freed?
What?
How were you freed?
How was I treated?
Free. How did you came back to America? How did you get out of the camps?
Oh, well, toward the end of the war, we knew the war was getting close because we could hear the artillery and the American regiment with it was tanks run over our fence and smashed the fence. But they wouldn't let us out of camp because they said there was the German guards had all run off and they might shoot us if they got us in the right circumstances. So we, five of us, sneaked out of camp, went down to the little town of Bedorb. That's where the American cooks were. So we stayed around in the town for a couple of weeks. But the cooks told us, "You better get back up to camp because they're shipping everybody out. You're going to get left." So we went back up to camp, and the lieutenant that was in charge was so mad at us, he made us wait till the last truckload out. So they took us and burned all of our clothes, shaved all of our hair off. We were covered with lice, but that was the worst torture of my time in this prisoner of war was the body lice eating us alive. You couldn't do anything about it, and your body was crawling with those body lice. So when they released us, they burned our clothes, shaved all of our hair off, dusted us down with DDT, and flew us out back to Le Havre. Uh, we got in there real late one night, and Major met us, and he said, "You guys were the last truckload out of the camp, but you're not gonna. We're gonna use you to fill in because a lot of the former prisoners of war are sick." So they put us on the boat the next morning. So we were the last ones out of the camp and the first ones on the boat.
Do you know about how long you were captured?
About 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
The war was getting toward the end at that time, and I think the Germans treated us better than usual because they knew the war was lost, and so they put us on a ship, brought us back to America, and treated us like heroes.
Sure. What were your feelings when you got back to America, especially after your experience?
I was a young kid. They hadn't paid us in several months, so I had a lot of money.
And so, how did you end up here in Michigan? What do work?
They let's do they put us guarding German prison war, and I was up by north of Grand Rapids, and I spent the rest of the war guarding German prisoners of war. The German prisoners of war weren't about to run off. They they loved it in this country, and so they were we were just in name only we were guards, but we really weren't. The German prisoners of war were used as workers on the surrounding farms, and the landowners that could speak enough. They in that area of Michigan, uh, I believe they were German descendants, so they could understand the German prisoners of war, and they were more like friends because they worked for the same farmer every day. So I ran around all night, slept all day.
Sir, so after everything you've been through, what's it like to be here today with your family?
Well, I'm so old, my memory's not that good anymore. Uh, but I consider myself very lucky for the life that God has given me. I I had some hard times. I was born during the Depression, grew up that way, and my poor mother had to raise my sister and I all alone. My dad was an alcoholic; he was never home. So, but he was in the army. He fought in the North Africa campaign. Uh, I consider myself very fortunate and lucky to have had the life that I've given me. The Lord was very generous to me.
All right, sir. Well, thank you so much for your time. We're very appreciative to have you here today. You have an incredible story, and thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was awesome. Thank you.